If you're willing, I'd like to ask you, Manny Renteria, what is the biggest risk?
So the biggest risk that we run as a nationwide consultancy, and myself personally as a consultant that has a phone with over 1,000 clients in it that call me, every other day, is not meeting the performance, right? So I've made this mistake, when I first started consulting in the consulting business, signing agreements on behalf of service providers. So I would be the in between the service provider and the customer. And so in this agreement, I'm the one presenting this agreement to the customer and saying, hey, these are all the benefits of doing solar with my service provider. Um, and so in these agreements, it's not, it hasn't been a standard to have a performance guarantee. And that, I think, is the biggest ticket item for me, for my customer, and and even for the service provider, is to have that. Because now, without that, I cannot sell anybody's product. I cannot promote or sign anybody's agreements unless there's that performance guarantee, which covers me and it covers my client in this case. And what that is really simple. If your system is is out there and it's producing power, but the power that it's supposed to be producing, let's say I presented you with a proposal that says, hey, this system is supposed to produce 10,000 kilowatt hours every month. Okay, and for the first year, multiply it by 12, that's 120 or whatever that is, right? So they sign up based on the fact that you showed them, a performance estimate on the proposal that they signed, and then the agreement didn't really have any performance guarantees. Now what happens is, a year later, when this system underperforms significantly, and your customer ends up with a system that doesn't produce or meet their needs, and on top of that, now they have a huge utility bill. Why? Because all the power that they didn't produce is now coming from the utility, and now they have this extra bill on top of whatever, if they're financing, now they have two bills. And so what ends up happening is, I have to go and explain why the system is underperforming, or whether or not they need more panels. And I'm stuck in between, you know, explaining to the customer, hey, your system didn't produce because these trees are still in the way or something like that. So it's really, really important that a performance guarantee is set in place by any service provider, and that performance guarantee has some sort of monetary compensation in the event that the system underperforms in a certain year or every 2 years. And typically, what a performance guarantee says, every 2 years, if the accumulated power doesn't equate to this much, you get reimbursed at this rate. And so that, to me, now is one of the biggest risks that I've had moving forward. And so now I always look for that in service providers to give me that performance guarantee. Otherwise, I'm out there, exposing myself and my company as as being untrue, or just un I don't know, just not trained, I guess.